Now we are going to move towards another very important aspect of our Sukta Bhagams of Karma Kandam of Vedic portion called as Nila Suktam. For the Lord Sriman Narayana, we have discussed Purusha Suktam. For his Pattamahishis, Sri Devi, we have discussed Sri Suktam from the Rig Veda. For Bhu Suktam, for Bhumi Devi. Now Nila Suktam, Nila Devi. This Nila Devi, who is she? For this, we need to refer to Hari Vamsham, which is again a very important tertiary portion, attachment to Sri Mahābhāratam. In Hari Vamsham, it is said that in Mithila country, the current day Nepal, there was Yashoda's brother. He was called Kumbhaka, and this Kumbhaka, who was Yashoda's brother, was a Gavampatihi. He had many cattle whom he had to manage. So he was a Gavampatihi. In his herd, there were 7 bulls which were completely non-controllable. They were very, if I'm allowed to use this, maybe not a very polished word, rowdy. These 7 bulls were rowdy in nature. They were very, very harsh and very demoniac in nature. Who were they? They were once the children of Kalanemi. Kalanemi nama prasutihi. They were, Kalanemi was a very torturous king. To him were these 7 children who were later born as bulls. Who mentions this? The great Advaitic scholar, the great Shaiva scholar, who was a great fan of Vedanta Deshika, called Appaya Dikshitendra, mentions this. I am reading out his commentary. Videha Nagare Yashoda Anujaha, in Videha Nagaram, Yashoda's brother Anujaha, Kumbhako Nama Gavampati Rasit. There was a person called Kumbhaka, a king of all the cows. Tasya Vraje Kalanemer Asurasya Sutaha Saptaprak Bhagavata Nirnitaha Purvavaira Manusmritya Krishnaya Chikirshaya Vrishabharupena Nyavasan. He was in the 7 children of Kalanemi were born as 7 bulls, and they were non-controllable. At that point in time, Kumbhaka had announced, whoever is able to control the 7 bulls, the non-controllable bulls that have, whoever is able to control, I'll give away my daughter Nila in marriage to that person. So Krishna came to that country and controlled them. There is one shloka by Vedanta Deshika which goes like this. Karena dambholita kathora tungan dehan pruthun danava durvrishanam vimridyanunam vidadhe mukundaha priyastana sparsha vihara yogya. So Krishna crushed with the hands the 7 demons which were as hard as Vajrayudham. He says, Vihara Yogyam Vimrudyanunam. It looked at one point in time like the bosoms of Nila Devi. Then he continues, Vedanta Deshika, Ragadiroga Pratikara Bhutam Rasayanam Sarvadashanubhavyam Asidanudhyeya Tamam Muninam Divyasya Pumso Daitonu Bhogaha. Now, while Nila Devi was enjoying with Krishna after having him control the 7 bulls she was given in marriage, whoever thinks of this will be bereft of the unwanted ragam, passion that arises. So all this unwanted attachment will go away, it seems. Who is she, Nila Devi? This Nila Devi whom Krishna has married is the Amsham of the original Nila Devi of Vaikuntham, who helps in the forgiveness of the sins committed by the devotees. Vedanta Deshika in his Prabandham called as Daya Shatakam states, Nishamayatu Mam Nila Yadbhoga Patalai Dhruvam Bhavitam Srinivasasya Bhaktadosheshva Darshanam. So, Parashara Bhatta describes this Anyonya Bhavam of Nila Devi and Krishna through one Sanskrit verse. He says, as one would open the doors of the Antavpuram of Krishna and Nila Devi, you will find him residing comfortably, placing his head on the bosoms of Nila Devi thereby, and her flowers would have got disheveled, they would have been scattered here and there because of the sambhogam that they would have had. Nila Tungastanagiri Tati Suktamudbodhya Krishnam Pararthyam Swam Shruti Sata Shiras Siddham Adhyapayanti Svochistayam Srajnigalitam Yabalat Kritya Bhunkte Godatasye Nama Idamidam Bhuyaye Vastu Bhuyaha. This Nila Devi, who is mentioned in Harivamsham, who is mentioned in Yadavabhyudayam, is mentioned in the Tamil literature as Nappinnai. Hence, the 18th, 19th and 20th verses of Andal, the mystic saint poetess's Tiruppavai, invokes the blessings of Nila Devi as Nappinnai. Now, where is Nappinnai mentioned in the Vedas? Where is Nila Devi mentioned in the Vedas? If she is the consort of the Lord, then why is she not mentioned in that line, Hrischate Lakshmischa Patnyau? Remember this, our Acharyas have remarked. Cha, the letter Cha in Sanskritam means and. When do we use and in English? When we have got a list of objects and before the last object in the conclusion we will say and. What all did you eat, my dear child? I had pasta, I had noodles, I had lollipop and I had curd rice. So this and comes before the last object. Now Chakaram is similar to and. Who are the wives of the Lord? Bhuma Devi, Sri Devi and Nila Devi. What does the Vedic statement state? Hrischya. Hrihi is Bhumi Devi. Cha is and. Lakshmischa. Lakshmi is Sri Devi. Again there is a cha. So Vedam, in our opinion, would have committed a mistake of putting so many cha. Bhuma Devi and Sri Devi and. Why two ands? It is grammatically wrong. So our Acharyas remark that the letter cha, out of the two chas, one cha denotes Nila Devi. Hri cha te Lakshmis cha patnyo. So the cha towards the end is and. Who are the consorts? Lakshmi, Sri Devi. Hri, Bhumi Devi. The next one cha is Nila Devi. Hri cha te Lakshmis cha. Hri, Bhumi Devi, cha, Nila Devi, Lakshmi, Sri Devi, cha and Patnyo are the wives. So this Sri Devi is mentioned separately. Bhudevi and Nila Devi are combined into one because both of them are the limbs, are the shariram of Sri Devi. Now Pancharatra states that Bhuma Devi is an amsham of Kshama and Nila Devi is the amsham of a gunam called Audaryam. So both of them are not Vibhu in nature. To that Nila Devi, who is also counted in the Jivatma Goshti but in the Nityasuri Goshti, I perform surrender. Nilam Devigum Sharanamaham Prapadye Sutarasi Tarase Namaha. So there are two mantras which come in the Taittiriya Samhita in the first kandam, in the fourth kandam. The first mantra goes like this: Grinahi, Gritavati, Savitaradhipatyaihi Payasvati, Rantirashano Astu, Dhruva, Disham, Vishnupatnya Gora Asyeshana Sahasoya Manota. So this is the first mantra. What does this mean? Grinahi. Hey Mata Nila Devi, please speak such soothing, calm, lovable words to your Lord so that he overlooks the sins that we have committed. Grinahi, Bhuvanasya Patni, Bhutajatasya Patni Palayitri, says Sayanacharya in his Bhashyam. The one who is the protectress of this entire universe, please recommend me to the Lord by making him overlook the sins that I have committed. So who is he, the Lord? Now we are telling Nila Devi to do so, but whom should she talk to? Savitaha, the one who is the cause of this entire universe, Sarva Jagat Karanatvam, says Sayana, and who is also the Antaryami of Surya Deva. The one who rests within the sun, Deyasada Savitru Mandala Madhyavarti, and who is also the Jagat Karana to him, Savitaha, Asha, Vyaptau root, the one who pervades everywhere. So that Lord is called Vyaptau. Like the Lord, she is also born with Sri Mahalakshmi. Naha Gritavati Astu. Let her give as much as ghee as possible, because we are all, again, remember, this is karma kandam, we have to invoke fire, and for that we have to perform karma, yagam, yagyam, for which we need ghee. So naha ghritavati astu, let her give as much as ghee as possible to us. Andal indicates this by one beautiful line. Etra kalangal ediribongi meedalippa. There should be no meager quantity, scanty quantity. It should be magnanimous. It should limitless quantity. Naha ghritavati astu adhipatyehi. The one who is able to connect this jivatma, us, you and me, to the Supreme, that Nila Devi, Dharmajnasya Vadanyasya Maharishir Samatejasah Asya Bhāryasu Trishusu Hri Shri Kirti Upamasu Cha. While describing the three wives, principal wives of Dasharatha, Valmiki says, while the payasam had to be distributed to the three wives, principal wives of Dasharatha, they shone, they were radiant like the three wives of the Lord, which is Sri Devi, Bhudevi, Nila Devi. Asya Bhāryasu Trishusu Hri Shri Kirti Upamasu Cha. Now, here Kirti, Hri is Bhudevi, Shri is Sri Devi. Who is Kirti? Kirti is Nila Devi. Payasvati Astu, she is the one who will help in the generation of loads of milk, because she was born into the clan of Kumbhaka, who is a Gavampatihi. She then later married Krishna, who was also Gavampatihi, who was taking care of cows. So she is the one who can bring forth that love in the minds of cows so that they can secrete more milk. Payasvati Astu Bahukshira Sampadika, says the commentator. Bahukshira, more loads and loads of milk will come. Why are we discussing so much of cows? Why are we discussing so much of milk? Why are we discussing so much of curds? While we were discussing in Purusha Suktam, comes this line, Vasanto Asyasid Ajyam. So Vasanta Ritu is like ghee. There is another place in Purusha Suktam where we say Prishad Ajyam. Curds and ghee get mixed together. Similarly, in Sri Suktam, we were describing and we were invoking the grace of Mahalakshmi, stating that only by your grace I'll get more cows. Thereby, if I get cows, I will get various forms of milk, curd, ghee, those forms of wealth, and even the cow dung, which will make the land fertile. So all this talks about cow, the products from the cow. Here also we talk about ghee. We say naha ghritavati astu, give me as much as ghee as possible. Payasvati astu bahukshiradi sampadika, so give me loads of milk, ghee, cows, butter. Again and again. Why? Because this is karma kandam, because we have to perform sacrifices for which we need samit, we need agni, we need for that agni to glow well, we need ghee, and for the prasadam that needs to be prepared, we need curds, we need milk. So all this is being mentioned. Naha rantihi astu, she is the cause of anandam, bliss. Naha astu, just like how she increased with her grace the milk secreting ability of the cows in the Mithila Desham and Gokulam, let her do it for my house as well. When I say for my house, there should be milk revolution. No child, no poor child in this world should just die without having milk. Milk abundantly should be available. It should reach all strata of the society. Even the poor man should be able to buy milk. It should not become so costly that they cannot buy. So all this is possible only if we invoke the grace of Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi's Amsham, which is none but Nila Devi. Nila Devi will ensure and she will bless the cows to secrete more milk happily so that it becomes affordable for all classes of the society. So this is a mantra where we pray for the goodwill of the entire society, immaterial of whether they believe in Vedas, whether they believe in Hinduism or not, whether they believe they belong to this religion or not. Throughout the world, people who are atheists and who are believers, people who belong to other religions and Sanatana Dharma, all of them should be blessed by Nila Devi. Rantihi na astu, for her children, let her increase the prosperity. Yeah, the one who is so famous, Dhruva disham, dishantiti dishaha. The one who helps us show various directions is dishaha, dishantiti dishaha. Dhruva disham, let her guide us. So she is very firm in her decision. What is her firmness about? She will ensure that the Lord does not cause any harm to us or does not punish us. So Vishnu Patni, who is she? Now we have described Nila Devi. We have described Nila Devi's avataram in Krishna avataram during Dwapara Yuga's time. But originally who is she? Vishnu Patni. She is the wife of Vishnu. Vishnu Patni Asha. She is the one who is always besides him. Aghora. If he is treated as hot water, she is the cold water. She will know how much of his grace to mix so that it reaches in a lukewarm condition for us to bathe. So Aghora, she is Shanta Rupa. She is always the personification of Shantam, peace, bliss. Asya Ishana, she is the goddess of all worlds. Dhruva Disham Ishana, she is the one who connects us to the Lord who grants us moksham. So he grants us moksham. She connects us, she acts as a Purushakara Bhuta, a recommendation or a recommending entity. Sahasaha Ishana, she grants wishes of this material world. Then how do we reach her? Ya Manota, just thinking of her. Manasyuta Pujitetyarthaha, says the commentator. Just by thinking of her. You don't have to do tough things. Just think of her. That will help us connect to her and in turn connect us to the Lord through her. The next mantra is Brihaspatir Matarishvota Vayusandu Vanavata Abhino Grinantu Vrishtambo Divo Dharunaha Prithivya Asyeshana Jagato Vishnu Patni. Brihaspati, says Vedacharya. Brihaspati is the pillar-like personality, the strong pillar-like personality of support for the Dyullokam, for the heaven. So he is treated as Taraka, the one who helps them cross various hurdles. That is Brihaspati. Matarishvota, the one who is the Taraka for this world, the one who is the support for this world is Vayu Bhagavan. So Matarishvota. Udvayu, that Vayu which is required for the living, greater than the Indriyam, more than the Indriyams that we have inside our body, that Udvayu. Sanduvana Vata, for performing the bodily functions like Apanam, Vyanam, Udanam, Samanam, that essential Vayu, those essentials for Swargams are mentioned. Now, Vedam now takes us, that mantra takes us to the next part. Vrishtambo Divaha. Earlier who was mentioned? Brihaspati. Brihaspati is for whom? Dyulloka, for all the upper worlds, heaven. What is he? The Taraka there. So like the Taraka who is Brihaspati for the heaven, he gets his power from you, Nila Devi Mata. Dharunaha Prithivya. Now whom did we mention for this slokam as the Taraka? Vayu. Who grants that power to Vayu to be the Taraka? Nila Devi. So Nila Devi grants power or graces her mercy on Brihaspati, who becomes the pillar of support for the heavens. She grants mercy or power upon Vayu, who becomes the pillar of support for this world, be it for this world or that world, be it for Brihaspati or Vayu. She is the one who blesses. Dharunaha Prithivya. Who is she? Asyeshana Jagato Vishnu Patni. Then again Vedacharya says, Ranti, let she bestow, let that Nila Devi bestow happiness on me. Gritavati Payasvati, let her bestow material prosperity in the form of milk, curds, ghee, butter upon me. Brihaspatir Matarishvota Vayuhu, let she who is the Abhimanini Devata for Brihaspati and Vayu of the upper worlds and this world, bless upon me. Adhipatyehi, let she also bless upon me. That fame is what Vedacharya says through this suktam called as Nila Suktam. So for the Lord we have discussed Purusha Suktam. For his consorts Sri Devi, Bhudevi, Nila Devi, we have had the fortune of briefly understanding Sri Suktam, Bhu Suktam and Nila